How's it going out there? This is Feed Your Mind and Soul. The globe Earth has lost again in the court of law versus the flat Earth. This is another epic win for the flat Earth, a victory over the globe Earth. Now, this is setting a precedent that this is not a joke. This is not a subject to be continuously dismissed as science and mainstream media has been trying to do to the subject. And so our message should be loud and clear now that this is a very legitimate argument that we are making out here. This court case also gives a new meaning to my Flat Earth Proof series, because now when you hear the word flat earth proof, you can't say that there is no proof of the flat earth, because flat earth has officially beaten the globe earth twice in the court of law, which revolves around facts, evidence, and proof. All of you deniers and people who have dismissed the subject for all of these years, it's time for you to figure out what we're talking about. Stop going to the Flat Earth Society, because that's not us. We are the new generation of flat earthers, and we are winning in courtrooms thanks to Zen Garcia, who has now won his second battle against the globe earth in court, because the rules of the contest was for the contestants to prove that there is curvature of the earth in a repeatable, observable experiment, or you can prove that the earth is spinning in a repeatable experiment. So there might have been more details to the contest, but the point is that when they went to court the first time, they were able to present their case before a judge in an actual court of law. And so they both laid out their arguments. The judge reviewed both of their arguments and decided that the plaintiff did not meet the requirements for the prize money. And it was at that moment that Zen Garcia had won a very historical case. And so the plaintiff could not believe that he had just lost in the court of law to a flat earther. Because most people don't realize that you think that you live on a globe earth just because you've been told that your whole life. And just because you've seen pictures your whole life that turned out to not really be real pictures. But of course, most people don't realize that. And most people don't realize that the pictures of the planets are fakes as well. And so most people have been living in an imaginary place their whole life without even knowing it, when Earth is really nothing like what we've been told. And when you go out and try to prove that you live on a globe Earth scientifically in a repeatable experiment, you're going to end up finding out that there is no evidence of a curved Earth. Most beginners are fooled by simple atmospheric conditions like, oh, I saw the bottom of something disappear, and not understanding the line of perspective and atmospheric conditions and things like that. And so when you repeat the test on multiple days, you're going to see that sometimes you can see the bottom of the building and sometimes you can't. And plus, what's the explanation for objects being seen well beyond the globe earth curvature math that has already been documented? And so this plaintiff was very disturbed by the fact that he had lost to a flat earther, and so he decided to appeal the judge's decision. And so when he appealed the decision, he hired an attorney to help him with the case. And so after the attorney reviewed the case, that's when things took a turn, because after everything was set for a new court date with a new trial, everything was all set to go. And then just a couple weeks before the actual court date was set to begin with part 2 of the Flat Earth versus Globe Earth court case, Zen receives a few letters in the mail. One of the letters was from the attorney of the plaintiff, and the letter was saying that they are now dropping the case against Zen Garcia. And then the second letter that Zen received was from the actual court, confirming that this case is being dropped and will not be moving forward for a second hearing. It sounds like after the attorney for the plaintiff had reviewed the case, they decided that based on the contest rules, the plaintiff would not be able to enforce Zen Garcia to turn over the prize money, because the requirements of the contest had actually not been met according to the arguments that Zen had laid out in the previous case. So it looks like they definitely did not want this case to move forward into another courtroom, because arguments about flat earth versus globe earth in a courtroom with the flat earther winning the case is just not something that they want to see happen twice. And then all of the public documents that would come with the case, where people can look up this case and see all of the arguments that were presented, because the scientific community has been avoiding these debates for a very long time now. They do not want these debates to take place. They do not want the dialogue to take place. The scientists have been taking this stance where they feel that the flat earth is not a valid topic to discuss, period. And so when it actually does get before an actual legitimate discussion, that's when the globe earthers begin to realize that they have no real scientific evidence of a globe earth. Everything they have have is easily dismantled and disproven by flat earthers. And that's when the discussion takes a turn. And so when the scientists enter a discussion with the flat earthers, they have all of these really easy to beat arguments that they don't realize we have debunked over and over again. They always say stuff like, oh, the boat goes over the curve of the earth all the time from the bottom up, and we've seen pictures of the earth, and we've seen the curve of the earth from the plane and stuff like that. When if you had any understanding about the actual distances where the curve of the earth would be visible, you would know that all of these arguments are easily thrown in the trash. They are not arguments that can stand up to the flat earth arguments. And so if the globe earth is such a scientifically proven fact, then why are they so afraid to have this discussion? And why are the only videos that come up when you do a search for flat earth are only the videos that claim to debunk the flat earth? And it's pretty frustrating because when you watch these videos that are propped up, they all think that they beat the flat earth by these crude experiments that can be easily countered with a logical explanation if an honest debate is allowed to take place. Instead, we just get to hear one side of the story. And so if any globe earther tries to deny that the flat earth is a legitimate topic to discuss, I believe that this court case can be used in order to persuade the scientific community that this discussion is valid and that this is a very legitimate discussion that should take place. Because when you got the globe earth losing to the flat earth twice in a court of law, I believe that's a pretty good starting point and a valid claim that we have a very valid argument that needs to take place. And so now there's other challenges that are popping up all over the flat earth community. And there's this one guy that goes by the name of Flat Earth Millionaire who's offering a substantial reward for anyone who could prove the globe earth. And so this goes to show you how confident people are becoming about flat earth truth, because they're willing to put up large amounts of rewards for anyone who can prove them otherwise. Now, this is not my contest and I have nothing to do with this contest, but I checked out some of the details and I'll give you a quick breakdown. Basically, what he wants the contestants to do is to do three things. One is to make water stick to a spinning ball. Plus, you must be able to replicate and film this experiment. He also wants you to measure, repeat, and observe and document water turning to sieve curve. And so the point where the water actually curves on a large open body of water and scientifically prove that the water curved. Plus, the last step of the challenge is to demonstrate a pressurized system next to a vacuum without a solid barrier. Because supposedly we have all this atmosphere on this earth that we're breathing in, all contained next to the vacuum of space. And so if that is a possible thing, just because supposedly gravity is holding the atmosphere onto Earth, then that should be a repeatable experiment that can be done scientifically in order to prove that this is even something that's possible. And so if you were so sure that we live on a globe Earth, then maybe check out some of these challenges that are popping up all over the place and prove it once and for all that we live on a globe Earth, because the rules for these contests are pretty straightforward. I mean, it's pretty clear that most people do not realize that there's actually no scientific evidence that we live on a globe Earth that you can repeat and observe for yourself. The physics of a globe Earth has not been officially scientifically proven according to their own standards in reality, and that's just the facts. And so a lot of the rules of these contests are based around proving the insane belief system that you are walking around a ball. To think that you are living on a flying ball in outer space is actually a pretty wacky idea once you start to think about it. But first you gotta allow yourself to think about it. And so if you want to hear the full breakdown of the case of the flat earth versus the globe earth in the courtroom, then I'll leave a link in the description box in the comment section so you can check out the full breakdown about what happened directly from Zen Garcia himself. Plus, he provides you with the case number and any information you might need if you want to look up the case for yourself. I'll also leave a link to my Flat Earth testimony playlist so that you can check out much more testimonies of the Flat Earth. Simply enter your email address at feedyourmind1.com. That way I can send you some cool news briefs throughout the week. It's completely free. I try to put out a new video every 10 patrons, so help me release new videos by becoming a patron. You can sign up for as little as $1. The link's in the comment section and the description box. It is very important for channels like this to be listener supported to remain online, and you get early releases and much more. Thank you for your support. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe, and click your notification bell. This has been another episode of Feed Your Mind. Thank you for tuning in. Signing off.